Welcome to the Bay Area Sports Report. My name is Rady, and today we'll be talking about day 16 of 49ers training camp. As today was very good on both sides, except the defense needs a lot of work, specifically. But let's get into some of the good news. As the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey back in practice and is practicing today for the 49ers. Here's McCaffrey as he is participating with the 49ers. So good to see him back. And to be fair, I knew he was going to come back. I knew this how to do, like so many people were talking about him. Oh, he's going to be in Germany or he's holding in for a contract, but clearly he is here. As it shows on what took as it shows here, Christian McCaffrey took a planned break and was not in a hold-in situation, despite what some people reported. 49ers said 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey said his time off in the middle of training camp was something that was built into his schedule. The team described tightness as the reason for him not practicing for 15 days. He was back on the field today. The tough day for the Christian McCaffrey is holding in for a new contract crowd. Christian McCaffrey said he felt great being out there, added he loves where we're at. And then here's more of Christian McCaffrey taking in some of the runs. And he looks very spry, as I have him as one of my winners. He's very spry. He's looking very healthy. He has a chance to be playing week 1. And there's a possibility that him and Caleb Black, who I'm also mentioning a winner, might actually have good seasons, as he could possibly have another 1,000 rushing yards for the 49ers because he's going to get breaks with Caleb Black in there. As speaking of Caleb Black has been very good. He was able to get 2 passes. He was also able to break through tackles for the 49ers. He's going to be a very good running back. He also took a hit by Fred Warner, which I'll get to Fred in just a minute, as he got hit hard by him and he just shook it off and got back up, which is not easy. Fred Warner can hit hard, and it's very impressive that he got up, but it looked like he was okay, so hopefully it didn't look like an injury, so hopefully not. So he did look very good. He got some passes. He's not going to be that pass catcher, like I said, but he could develop into it, so it's good to see him and McCaffrey doing very well for today's training camp. Along with that, as he says on why he hasn't been practicing, obviously when you don't practice, the way the media works now, it's a firestorm, McCaffrey said, but this was kind of part of the plan from the jump, was to ramp up pretty big, get 9-10 practices in, kind of come back down, and then ramp back up so we're fresh for the duration. And again, I feel great. I feel fresh, and it's good to be back out there. So pretty much all of you, especially Mike Florio, and I only reported the thing because it's just a possibility, but I also mentioned in my video that I don't think he is holding in. If he is, I was just saying if he was, quote, if he was, then I would increase his study. But I didn't think he was holding in because it didn't felt like it, and it was pretty much part of his plan. I only just mentioned it because it was part of it, and it's my job to just report news on it. So that's why. So, but overall, it's good to have him back out there. The other big news is that George Kittle is now back for the 49ers. He is now back in pads, as you can see here, as he only returns 7 months following an Achilles tear. It is very incredible. Just 7 months. There's Juice. Kittle is a Wolverine, and then here's more of Kittle. As for some more returns, we got DeAndre Norton, Dejon Stribling are back in practice after missing Saturday with shoulder injuries. Ladar is in a blue no contact jersey, Stribling a black one. And then an injury update, as Romello Height had an undisclosed injury, did not practice per Nick Nat Wagner, so hopefully he is okay. But at least he's going to get a day off, so we'll have to see. So he'll at least get a day off for the training camp. So hopefully they'll come back for the final training camp, and hopefully that's at least good. Here's Kittle. He did not participate in 101s or in team drills, but it was at least good to see him back out there on the field. He has a chance to play week 1 And I always, I've always been like semi thing, but now that he is back, that I think I'm fine and content with him coming back as long as he could stay healthy. That's all I'm asking. Because if he doesn't, because I don't want him to get like another injury, and he's just one of the best tight ends in the world, and being without him is just kind of a huge deal. I mean, like I said, Jake Hodges is a good replacement, but he's no George Kittle. He can't block well like George Kittle. He can't he can receive like George Kittle, but he can't block like George Kittle, which is the reason why the run game is very good for the 49ers ever since Shanahan was John Lynch took over. So I just want him to stay healthy. So if you want to, so for George Kittle, if you want to go ahead, then you have to at least stay healthy. That's all I'm asking. So, but it's good to see him out there for the 49ers, and it's great to see that as you show activating for pup list. Kittle being back, very energetic, very happy, probably very happy like that football is back. So they'll probably highlight it and highlight it. So it's good to see him back on the field. And then here's more of George Kittle being back. Like it's kind of awesome. It goes from January where he got injured, and just to August 23rd. It's just kind of amazing to just see that for him. So it's very good to see him out there. Took some blocking drills also. Can see that a little bit. Some blocking drills, so that's at least good. Here's the where now Schefter reported it. The 49ers are also working out 3 pass catchers: Finley Fehoko, Ron Stone, and Dewin Black. The team also waived Xavier Thomas, which was earlier for Kittle Dinkins. I don't know what this move is about. Hopefully, it's not a receiver that I know. I'm hoping it's not Cowling or Jordan Watkins who is injured, because if it is, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I didn't see anything on that, so maybe the Nick Wagner thing. I'll have to see that. So, but I would go with Lenny Fehoko since he's just a veteran. So, as for Mike Evans on Nick Wagner on Mike Evans left practice early today. However, it seemed to be precautionary measures, as it shows here. But he is also a loser because he kind of got injured again with the same quad injury like he did with the Chargers in the Chargers joint practice. That's kind of not exactly a good thing now, but I think there are going to be healthy by week 1, all the starting receivers: Deebo Samuel, Dejon Stribling. I think Mike Evans will, so I think they're fine. So I think they will have all their starting receivers, so I think it should be fine for the 49ers. Dejon Stribling also returned to practice. He also participated a little, so that's at least good. Now he just needs to just not play for the Raiders game. Deommodore Noor was back at practice too. I also have him as a winner. He was very good out there. He lined up in the slot, and Brock Purdy did not target him, so he's dangerous in anything. So that's kind of awesome to see that for him. Upton Stout was very good. He broke up some passes. He also intercepted Brock Purdy, if I remember correctly. So that was very good for the four. So that was very good for Upton Stout. Those two, Lenore and Upton Stout, have been the best cornerbacks on the starters. The other ones are a bit shaky. Specifically, Verrero Green is kind of a bit shaky, but I still believe in him. As for the safety issue, I think that's kind of a bit shaky because it's worrisome. But I'll get to more of my winners. But let's read this quote by Mike Evans. By Nick Wagner. Mike Evans again took part in much of practice, but didn't go all the way through it. He stopped toward the end after running a deep route on a play that went to Jake Tonjes. He seemed to be moving fine, but clear he and the Niners want to be cautious to get him to the regular season ready to go. So you can all be fine. You can take a breath, 49ers fans. So you can all take a big breath. As for Deebo Samuel is in the best shape of his entire 49ers tender. He looks fantastic, quick, and motivated. So that's at least good. As for some more notes on Nick Wagner, it was hard not to notice a little extra pep in Niners practice today, likely due in no small part of return of tight end George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. It says Christina, but it's Christian actually for some reason. 49ers eased both back in, with Kittle only doing individual drills and McCaffrey taking about 7 reps in team drills, including a handful of carries, a positive step for both in the mission to be ready on or very close to in week 1. So that's at least good. Wide receiver Dejon Stribling and Down Lenore were both back in practice after missing Saturday with shoulder injuries. Lenore in blue and Stribling in black wearing no contact jerseys, but they did participate. I want to note that. The only new name on the non-participating list was rookie Romello Height. He was seen Saturday moving slowly after practice, but it's unclear what he is dealing with at the moment. Full list of non-participants: Height, Nick Martin, hamstring; Ronaldo Green, hamstring; Austin Pleasant's knee; Jalen Graham and Wesley Grimes, hand; Samir White, illness; Grayson Halton, ankle; Lou Gifford, hamstring; Nick Bosa, soreness/tightness; Kyle Juszczyk, broken finger; Brett Toth, concussion; Curtis Rourke, undisclosed/rib injuries; Christian Kirk, calf, hopefully trade him, please; Malik Mustafa, hamstring; Vidarian Lowe, ankle; Nate Hobbs, groin; Robert Jones, calf. And then same Niners on pup. Wide receiver Mike Evans. Oh, it's the same thing, sorry. The best part of practice, the back and forth between Brock Purdy and linebacker Fred Warner. They've had their fun in this camp going at each other, but it's kicked into another gear. During practice, Purdy layered over Warner to Evans for a big gain. Later, Warner broke up a pass intended for Demarcus Robinson that Purdy let the quarterback hear about it. Warner also delivered a big thud to rookie Caden Black for forcing incompletion or a fumble depending on how you saw it. That again had Fred Warner throwing. Purdy then dropped back and ripped one down the middle to a streaky Deebo Samuel just out of the diving outstretched arms of Warner. Purdy let out a yell that won't be repeated here, but suffice to say it was a message received by Warner. Moments later, Warner and Purdy were laughing and chatting behind the huddle. The chess match between the two has been a constant in this camp. So I don't think it's like serious, but it's just like a little fun thing. I think that's just how Fred is. He just teases. And that's just how he is for him. So I kinda like that for Fred. Another constant in this camp, Purdy's excellent. He had a hiccup on an interception thrown right into up the south, but it seemed there might have been a miscommunication on it. Other than that, the ball barely hit the ground. I had Purdy at 16 and 19, depending on how you view the path to Black that was knocked out. That included a handful of strikes for big gains to Jake Tonjes, which I want to talk about, as Jake Tonjes is also another winner on my list. He's very good. He's been doing very well and stepping up. They've also done 3 tight end formations, so it looks like they're taking some plays from the Rams book. It looks like, so I like that. It's nice to try new things, and I think it's going to be very nice. I think switching out the receivers and just using your 3 tight ends, Jake Tonjes with Farrell, who's also been an okay pass catcher. I still a little bit worrisome. And along with that, George Kittle. I like that so far. So it's good to see Jake Tonjes. He also had some deep touchdowns, so it's good to see that. For the 49ers, there's more of a little bit the same thing. The quote for earlier, not then. So and that included a handful of strikes, 4 big gains to tight end Jake Tonjes, a would-be deep touchdown to Jordan Watkins, and a more in rhythm dishes to Robinson. It's been Purdy's best camp, and it's far to think you would agree. Tonjes has come on a very strong the past couple of days, not making catches but stretching the field a bit. I had him down for 4 more grabs today after another handful yesterday. Purdy had plenty of comfort with him. Fair to wonder if we'll see multiple tight end stuff in the offense this year given that. So I like what they're doing. I think it's nice to try new things, and I think it's a very nice job to do that, especially now you have to change some things. So, and it kind of gave the Seahawks a little bit of trouble, so I think that'll be pretty nice. We'll see if they apply this week one against the Rams. We had some big one-on-one pass drills today, perhaps the final time in camp. I'm a broken record, but rookie defensive tackle James Thompson continues to look the part of a legitimate rotational player. He had convincing wins in this drill against Jake Brendel and guard Carter Willis. To me, the most consistently productive U of A the Niners added this season. Colton McKinnon had just been so solid here, and overall through this camp, his ascent through the years had been fun to watch, completely comfortable in his spot. Guard Connor Colby had a nice rep against defensive tackle C.J. West, got a strong initial push, and Colby seemed to be on his heels, but Colby did a nice job reestablishing his seat and staying down to the anchor to prevent any further push. Good stuff from Bedroll against Alfred Collins, Enriquez Cruz against Victor Rukia, which I don't think is a surprise because he's not exactly a guy to worry about. Quentin Bell against Cruz, and Drake Nugent against defensive tackle Evan Anderson and Sebastian Valdez. As it shows on, so I like what they've done so far. Specifically, James Thompson Jr. is another winner on here. He's been very good. He's been able to handle double teams from last camp. He's also been able to be a good run stuffer and a pass rush at the same time. He actually got with the starters and he broke a would-be sack. So he has a possibility to make it onto the roster. And I wouldn't mind that because now you're kind of thin on edge with Michael Williams being out. And I kind of have him in the roster right now for the 49ers. So I would like that. Also want to side note that Keon White is also back for the 49ers, which is very good. We need all the edge help we can get. But it's nice to see that him developing to be very good on that. And some of the past players, I mean, Connor Colby had a nice rep against CJ West, but I feel like it still should be Carver Willis because I feel like he's younger, he's a bit better than him, so I think that's very good. But overall, though, James Thompson Jr. did a great job. I like what he's done so far. I think he should make it onto the roster. This might endanger Alfred Collins, but we'll have to see. If he doesn't do well in the Raiders game, then I feel like they should trade him for like an edge player specifically. Just a thought that Drake Nugent had a solid camp and looked like he improved. Given Toph's concussion, I wonder if Nugent could be a surprise on the 53-man roster as the primary backup center behind Brendel. I wouldn't mind it, but we'll have to see on how it goes. So we'll have to see as it nears to the roster cut down, but I wouldn't mind. Some defensive highlights today. Nice coverage by Features Priceock on a deep ball from Mac Jones for Jake Cowing. Priceock was again solid in coverage. Later on, Jones throw for Will Pauling. Warner had a pass breakup against Purdy, but also had a nice run stuff against Jordan James. Thompson got home for a would-be sack. Stout interception against Purdy. Would likely have gone for a long return. Also, Drake Greenlaw had a nice pass breakup and a near pick on a Purdy pass for Evans. Marquis Siegel had made a nice read and shot the gap for a would-be run stuff against Samuel. Unfortunately, he kind of gave up a long pass to Jordan Watkins, unfortunately. So, the two winners I want to mention on this one is Features Priceock. I love what he's done. He's been able to make some pass breakups. He's been doing very good on coverage. And there's a possibility that he could start, which I don't mind. I would love it if Diablo Rodor and him and Upton Stout Ward started together. But the only thing I have with Priceock is if he could get picks. That's what I like to see from the cornerback. Because Upton Stout, even he has I think he had one pick. I think even him, he had one pick. Diablo Rodor had 4. So I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind Priceock. So, but I don't know if the Niners want to do that. But maybe if they did, maybe you could just trade. But I wouldn't mind it though. Maybe you could just trade Ronaldo Green maybe for an edge rusher also. You have to see on that. Maybe for a safety, I would love that. I'll talk about that a bit more later. But I love what Priceock's done, and he did have a good camp. Drake Greenlaw also had a good camp. He's not very good at pass breaking up. We'll see how he is on his injury with the ACL. Hopefully he can be able to be good in pass coverage. But in this pass breakup and a near pick for Evans, it's a nice start. Along with other defensive highlights, Larry Worf had a hit on Malik Turner that forced an incompletion. And safety Ashton Davis picked off Jones on a pass for Cowing, who seemed to be favoring his leg a bit after the play. Ashton Davis is also a guy that I want to mention that he's also another winner. He's been very good for the 49ers for today. I think he does have a chance to start as he will kind of break up a coverage. So maybe give him a chance, maybe switch around, maybe do that by week 1, maybe week 2 against the Dolphins, which was actually his former team. So maybe do that. I wouldn't mind. So you guys could do that. Stribling made a nice catch along the sidelines on a throw from Purdy on the second snap of the starters. Rep in team drills. Stribling seems to have a great sense of awareness along the sideline that has showed up a few times in this camp. More work for James and Black today as they come back from injuries. Their fresh legs stand out, but it sure feels like both have a chance to contribute. It's been easier than done when it comes to resting McCaffrey in the past, but it's fair to say that this is the duo with the most juice of possible 49ers running back options of recent vintage, and both are proving capable of doing more than just running the ball. They've been adapt in the pass game, both as receivers and blockers, which is good because I love that, the past couple of days. That duo also got a couple of looks as kick returner combos today. which are very good. I like what they're doing with them, and they're trying to do the best they can to see to work with them. As for some more losers, Nick Bosa is also a loser, as he's kind of the most important guy for the edge. And the unfortunate part of that is that he's been very good, and he's your pass rush. I think he should come back, but it is kind of a slight concern that I'm kind of worrying on. Hopefully, it's not for a contract. Hopefully, but if it is, I don't think it is. I think he's just resting for just week 1, and hopefully it's the same thing with McCaffrey. Hopefully he comes back for the final day of practice. If he doesn't, then I guess we'll talk about it a little bit later. LaMelo Hyde is also a loser, as he's kind of been injured. He hasn't had any pass rush in the preseason, and I'm kind of worrying on that. That's why I'm kind of looking at maybe trading for an edge player, maybe Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe bring Joey Bosa back. I keep saying that every single time. Like, maybe bring that in. Fred Warner is also another loser on here because, and it's not because he needs to kind of cool down, kind of, because he's smacking talking about Purdy. He's hit Jordan James for like 3 weeks. He brought Ronaldo Green and Kalen Black down. He needs to take it slowly. These are your teammates, Fred. You need to not hit your teammates. You're supposed to be like at least tackle, not like hitting them hard. So that's what you need to focus up and lock in. I'll talk about my last loser, but I want to finish this up. Still no proclamation from anyone on the 49ers about the left guard competition, but with Jones and Pleasant not practicing, it seems like Willis gets the job by default if no one outside additions are made. I still want Kevin Zeitler, but sure, whatever. But because I still think that Zeitler is still a good player, I would love it if that. I'll even take Taylor Decker, who's still like a left tackle. It's still a free agent. I will even take him too, the left guard. We'll see where Jones and Pleasant are health-wise next week. As for the 49ers, as it shows here, the 49ers are going to be back at it on Tuesday, which will probably be the fully open practice of this camp. So that'll be the last of camp. As for the last loser, Raheem Morris is one because he's been experimenting a lot, but for Raheem, I think experimenting, using your videos, I think analyzing what works, how to get pressure, I think that's what's best to do. I don't think blitzing's gonna work. I mean, it does work, but only if you have players that are like fast enough to get to the quarterback, and it's not working out for them. Hopefully they can figure it out by then, and hopefully there will be sacks by like the Raiders game. So I'm hoping Raheem Morris can fix things. I still believe in him. He just needs to figure things out and just needs to find stuff. I would try to like look, but if it doesn't work out well, I would just trade for an edge rusher or even sign Joey Bosa back because it's not looking good. So I would probably do that if I was the 49ers. But that is it for day 16 of 49ers training camp. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below on what you think of day 16 of 49ers training camp. And this is Bay Area Sports Report, signing off.